Welcome to the November episode of Inside the Dragons. This is the Lake Orion Community Schools monthly television show. Today, we're here at Walden Middle School, where they have a special program, Invite Your Parents to Lunch Day. This is where our students have the opportunity to invite their parents into the school and be part of the day and show them a little bit of their own experience. This particular episode is going to provide a little behind-the-scenes view of our school district lunch program, which serves hundreds of meals every single day. Then you're going to have the opportunity to meet the longest tenured employee in our school district, high school English teacher Vicki Stringer. She is now in her 43rd year in Lake Orion. Then we're going to take a look at the fall play. The high school play this year is Almost Maine, and they were preparing for their mid-November debut. And then finally, we're going to spend a little bit of time with star swimmer Claire Abbasi and her father Darren, who coaches the swim team and is the associate principal at Lake Orion High School. Thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy our program today.
Every day, students leave their home bound for the Lake Orion Community Schools. Some bring a bag lunch, but many count on the district to provide lunch opportunities. Food service connects with thousands of students every day, sitting as an integral part of each school day. After a few hours of class, students are eager to eat, but the prep work began much earlier in the day as food service workers prepare the meals based on the students' orders, and the a la carte options are laid out in the display.
Today we had 15 salads ordered by the students, so I'm preparing them for the day. And we will put them together, put them in the fridge, and then Chris will pull them out when they're wanted in the morning. So we try to teach them what a fruit and a vegetable is. A lot of kids come in that don't know the difference between a fruit and a vegetable. They'll ask me if a pear or an apple is a vegetable, or a carrot if that's a fruit.
Okay.
So one of our jobs is to teach them the difference between a fruit and a vegetable.
Food service is a massive operation. Elementary schools serve between 150 and 200 lunches per day. The middle school's well over 200 meals per day, and the high school serves 700 lunches on a usual day and more than 900 on special days. Breakfast is also available for students. Balancing nutrition is a critical component for LOCS. Every school serves breakfast and lunch with cold fruit and a vegetable bar daily, and also has gluten-free and vegetarian menu items available.
So there's quite a few to select from, and we call this the cold food bar, where the children can select whatever they would like to put on the tray, along with the hot food that they are selecting from the menu today. So each day there are 3 items on the menu that they can select from. And then once they do that, once they serve the hot food on the tray, then they come over to the food bar and select whatever fruits and vegetables are available.
There are a few favorite meals, including Dragon Stomp, which has a bit of a community following passed down through the student generations.
Dragon Stomp. It's sort of modeled on the KFC popcorn chicken bowl. And I'm not sure who introduced it here, but it's been around for a while, and the kids absolutely love it. It's one of the biggest sellers in the high school for sure, and it's just become a standard on our menu.
What's in it?
It's a scoop of mashed potatoes topped with popcorn chicken, steamed corn, and gravy on top of that.
Okay, you said that's the most popular one?
With so many students fed every day, the planning is a massive task, but keeping the children healthy and energized is also an important role in the district. At the end of the hall in the corner of Lake Orion High School, there is a teaching treasure. English teacher Vicki Stringer is the district's longest-serving employee, yet still has the same energy as colleagues who are decades younger. Getting to the top after all these years was an important milestone in her career.
I mean,
yeah. Oh, huge. It meant something big to me.
What's the resonance? I mean, why is it so important?
And there are no perks.
Right.
You don't get a special spot in the parking lot, and there's no crown that you wear on your head or anything like that. But to me, it meant that I had survived and thrived through so many changes that this district has known. You know, there have been so many changes in this district in 43 years. I can't even tell you. It's not the same district it was 43 years ago. And it's been, for me, really gratifying to see all that.
Now in her 43rd year, Stringer teaches AP English and mythology, but her career was a winding road getting to that point. She bucked her family trend and went into education and realized early that she loved it.
My family, nobody in my family was college educated. And at the time that I was coming up, I don't think any of my family had even graduated from high school. My father dropped out of school in 10th grade. My mother went to I guess they would call it junior high, through 8th grade. And they both dropped out of school. But for whatever reason, even though they didn't read to me at home or anything, I knew, I can pinpoint a time when I was in 2nd grade. I was 7 years old, and suddenly I just knew, I'm going to be a teacher. And I never deviated from that. I just always knew that that was what I wanted to do.
She began at Stadium Drive Elementary as a 3rd grade teacher in 1975. So small and looking so young that parents often wondered if there was a teacher in the room. Despite a few curveballs, including spending a year away from the job at a time when teachers were pink-slipped yearly, she endured. She returned and worked in middle school, then was moved back to the elementary school at Pine Tree, where she stayed for 2 decades, all while she was trying to improve herself, gaining a master's degree at night. That opened an idea for Stringer to make one more change, becoming a high school teacher a decade ago. Many were surprised when she made the move, but it has energized her career. She may be one of the most unconventional teachers in the high school, with her masks and other items floating around the classroom, and the pretend animal on a leash that can be taken in the hallway. The students affectionately call her Stringy, showing the bond they have with her.
There's a lot of creative stuff in here. We have Foo-Foo the Visible Cat. You know, we're all about mythology here and creating stories. So I have Foo-Foo, the kids take it for walks. I have my cat crowns that I wear. It's all about making school fun.
Sure.
And I think all too often with our rigorous standards and everything, we focus so much on academics and forget that kids are kids and that they still enjoy the occasional cat video. It's not to say that my classes aren't rigorous, because they are, but I think the kids put forth a lot more extra effort because they know that there's going to be a little bit of a payoff. Maybe they can take the cat for a walk to the bathroom, or, you know, any of various silly...
Eventually, she may move to New York and work at an art studio, but for now, she plans to continue impacting LOCS students as she has for more than 4 decades. Claire Abbasi realized early she had swimming talent, but even with parents who were elite swimmers when they were younger, and a sister who is swimming in college, Claire is taking it to another level. The Lake Orion High School junior is coached by her father, Darren Abbasi, and the pair both realized early that she was a great fit for the water.
The first time for Claire was following her sister's footsteps, Kirsten, who's swimming at Oakland University currently, and at Pine Lake Country Club, what we call a mini-meet during the summer. And Claire was, I think, about 5 years old, and was participating on the team, you know, moderately, and that was her first exposure to competing and swimming. It wasn't until really when we were at Paint Creek Country Club that she started to test her abilities of swimming on her own, and it was like a graduation for her parents when we could get out of the small pool into the large pool, and it just came very natural to her.
Well, I guess there wasn't really any like defining moment where I was like, oh, I'm like getting faster than other people, because with my age group on our club team, we were all kind of like, I had one friend who was like right there with me, so we kind of moved through the groups together. So I guess kind of being with her and being able to compete with her throughout like the time, just seeing that we moved up in groups faster than other people, or we moved up to go to faster pace times.
As she rose through the swimming ranks, Claire never hesitated or asked for any time off. She began to separate from her peers as she entered high school, and now in her 3rd season, with the state meet just around the corner. She has a long list of accomplishments.
But right now, her big meet is not just the league championships, but the state meet in 3 weeks. That has been a big goal since the beginning of the season.
In terms of your goals, I mean, do you have times written on your wall, or how do you kind of do that? I mean, do you have or in your phone or something? I guess now people do it on their phone, right?
I don't really have anything written down. I kind of just at the beginning of the season or throughout the season, I kind of set goals for where I want to be, like at each meet in my head. I don't really write it down. So by state meet, I have my goals that I want to go, or my goal times that I want to go, and then leagues, I have goal times that I want to go. So it depends on like each meet.
You can you give some advice to young swimmers, because they'll look at you and they all want to be you. And that's kind of probably a unique opportunity to know there's all these little young swimmers want to be like you. Mm-hmm. Is there something that you can tell them, or do you give advice to them that's, kind of motivating?
Mainly just to have fun. Once you don't have fun with the sport, you aren't really motivated to swim anymore. So mainly just to have fun and love it while you can, and don't take it for granted really. And then also just to work hard, because if you don't work hard and practice, you're not going to get as far as you want to.
Claire's on the varsity record board in the 200 medley relay, 200 freestyle relay, 400 freestyle relay, and she's the varsity record holder in the 100 freestyle. Part of Claire's success is her will and desire to improve. During the last year plus, she only took a few days off last August to rest after the summer season, and this fall she has done lone workouts in the mornings, getting in extra work before practicing in the afternoon. Already one of the most accomplished athletes at Lake Orion. With the state meet looming and another year before she lands a major college program, she may end up filling even more of that record board. In his first year as a theater director for the Lake Orion High School, Jonathan Kind wasted no time putting his imprint on the program. Coming from outside the district, Kind immediately arrived and began to get to know the students. Looking for a fall play called A Straight Show because it's not a musical, Kind settled on Almost Maine.
So the reason that I chose Almost Maine, one, it's a really heartwarming piece. There's a lot of love given between all the different characters. From a logistics standpoint, there is a huge variety in the types of characters that are played, and not knowing any of the students coming in, it was a safe choice. It also gives a great chance for a lot of students to have their moment in the spotlight. There's 17 roles in this play, and none of them are small roles. Everyone has a good chunk of stage time, and it allows me to get to know the actors very well.
Is it always a straight show in the fall and then
a musical in the spring, yes. Okay. Yeah, so straight show in the fall, musical in the spring. We'll probably alternate back and forth whether we do a serious piece or more of a comedy in the fall. Yeah, and this was something that I discovered the very first day of auditions. We have a very talented group of students here at Lake Orion. Not only do we have a very talented group, there's a lot of them. The fact that we auditioned 17 boys for the male roles in this part is just absolutely insane. I have never seen a high school theater group that has 17 male actors, and all of them are castable. As far as the challenges go, it's mostly just about balancing things, making sure that each aspect of the show gets a good amount of time. I spent the first few weeks only with actors. I didn't see any of the technical aspects, and now as we get closer to show nights, I'm spending much more time with those technical aspects, where the assistant director will take the actors and go run through scenes and do some polishing work, because a large chunk of the work for the actors is done. They're just cleaning things up and making sure that they're perfect for opening night while we finish working on the set and other lighting and sounds, etc. I remember the very first read-through where each of the actors and crew members were able to sit down and really experience the show all the way through. And the chuckles, the lighthearted laughs, they were all there where they were supposed to be. But this show, as much as it's labeled a comedy, it has its moments where it gets down to the heart and really makes an impact. We had auditions the second week of school. In total, I think it's about 9 weeks.
If you'd like to see the play, it runs November 16th, 17th, and 18th at 7 p.m. and November 19th at 2 p.m. Tickets are available at LOCS box office at LOK12.org.
Thank you so much for sharing the November episode of Inside the Dragons. Even though our show airs only once a month, every day is exciting in the Lake Orion schools. Make sure to follow us on our website, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We'll see you next month.
Inside the Dragons is produced monthly by the Lake Orion Community Schools in partnership with Orion Neighborhood Television. For up-to-date news and information about the Lake Orion School District, visit our website at lakeorion.k12.mi.us and watch us on Comcast Educational Access Channel 22 and AT&T UVerse Channel 99.